Hello my audience. Today I'm going to be telling you a story about the murder stop. And the story starts with a graffiti artist that spray paints a graffiti on a bus stop in the middle of nowhere, in midst of a forest. He spray paints, with red and bone colors and light gray, black. On this bus stop, this fine graffiti that reads "Murder Stop." And a year passes by, and this guy, this graffiti dude, hasn't hid from the police, anything. He just continues on his life, like nothing has happened. But then happens something. There happens a murder at the murder stop. Somebody stabs in the early night a person waiting for the bus. And the body is found the next day by a driver of a bus driving by. Looks over. There's a dead person over there. A detective is called to the place. He inspects the body, tells to the cops his findings. The autopsy reveals that the person was stabbed to death. And the cops and the detective also, of course, notice that the graffiti fucking matches. Murder stop. It makes a whole lot of sense. And they start an investigation. Who painted this graffiti? Otherwise, they wouldn't have ever cared. Well, you can guess what happens. The detectives at some point end up at the graffiti artist's door to interrogate. What happened there? There was a murder at the bus stop, and we have a hunch that it was you who painted that graffiti. And the graffiti artist says, no, I just painted that graffiti, but I have nothing to do with any murder. And after some conversation and some argument, the detectives are pretty clear that, yeah, this graffiti artist didn't have anything to do with the murder. So they start an investigation of who was the real murderer and give the graffiti artist, the police I mean, a $300 fine. Then on the murder stop, about a week passes and another person is murdered. Another dead body. The body is found almost in the same way. And the cops are really, at this point, wanting to find this killer. Because it's clearly the same dude. They start a search around the area, the forests and that kind of stuff. They find nothing. No hideouts, nothing. What happens after that is very interesting. The graffiti artist is on a bus and they are passing by this bus stop and there are three dead bodies lying on the bus stop and the bus driver just drives past. The graffiti artist that is in the bus says to the driver, "Hey man, why did you drive past the bus stop? Did you see those bodies?" And the bus driver says, "Yeah, that's the murder stop. We're not gonna stop over there. Who knows what will happen?" So the graffiti artist decides, "I'm gonna help the detective." And the next time he meets the detective, he tells, 3 guys were murdered. Again. And now we are dealing with the serial killer. And the graffiti artist is like, he probably would have killed those people either way, but because I made that graffiti, maybe he chose that spot, you know, to like do those murders at. And I feel kind of guilty. And the cops and the detectives are not guilty for this, but for reals we have to catch this guy. And they try. And they try. And they try. And at some point, there happens a very weird incident. This serial killer dude, he hops on the bus himself and hijacks the bus. I mean, points a Magnum 44 Magnum at the bus driver, says, "Give me the fucking wheel or I blow your brains out." He blows his brains out either way. Turns the gun to the back of the bus, says that, "Everybody on the back of the bus!" and presses the gas pedal. Of course, the modern times, or is it? Well, somebody calls the cops. And pretty soon the cops are on the serial killer. They come to a bridge, and the serial killer at this point opens up the door of the bus, the front door, slams the bus through that railing and jumps out before the bus hits the water. The cops come to watch from the railing what happened. The bus is there, starting to sink, of course, into the ocean. But the serial killer then flies through the air like this, up, and the cops look and they're like, "It's Batman!" Hatman. Thanks for watching this video. You never know whose side you're on.